Why, hello everyone! I'm your lovely host, Innocent, and welcome back to Innocent's voice acting advice. Or, as I like to call it, Eva! Today's topic is screaming! Proper screaming techniques are pretty important for voice acting and making sure you don't hurt your vocal cords. I have a special guest today. His name is Junne, and he'll be helping me with explaining how to scream. But we'll get to him later. Let's get started. I personally learned how to scream by working at a haunted house and having to scream at people for hours on end. Also, being strapped into an electric chair and having people believe that I'm actually being electrocuted. Now, everyone you ask about screaming is probably going to start here. Don't be afraid to actually scream and get loud. Make sure you're not doing it at a time when people are sleeping, and if you're in an apartment complex or close to your neighbors, make sure to, inform your neighbors. Or, put a note on your door telling everyone not to worry and that no one's actually dying. Although it may be considered a compliment to have the cops called on behalf of how believable your acting is, no one wants to deal with that. The next step to not hurting yourself when screaming is to stay hydrated. Keep a giant glass or bottle of water with you when recording. Take a drink before and after every scream that you need to do. It will not only keep them cords lubed up, but it will help relax everything. Being relaxed while screaming is also a must. Most people don't know, but when you sing, or more specifically belt, you're screaming. Anything going up into your higher range or octaves, or anything that you need to do to get louder, you're screaming. And you know what? There's nothing wrong with that. As long as it doesn't hurt, you're doing better than most. Another really good key to making sure your screaming sounds more believable and is safe is to scream with your whole body, not just your throat. Your throat should not be the place which these sounds are coming from. Your chest, stomach, or diaphragm are much better options. Bending at the waist is a great starting point. It puts pressure on your diaphragm, and having a slightly hunched over position does quite a lot for method acting. If you're able to stand, bending at the knee is also great. But if you can't move a lot, just clenching your fist is sometimes all that you need to put more oomph into it. Other general points. Knowing how you need to scream. Do you need to sound scared? Are you dying? Did you just win a war and are screaming for victory? Are you insane? Getting into character and into the scene will not only help the scream sound more believable, but it will also come out easier. Try not to use a lot of air. Many singing coaches advise to use less air when singing because air dries out your vocal cords faster. Same goes with screaming. This one will take a lot of practice to master, but it will help so much in the long run. Trust me. Now that I'm done rambling, I'll let Junne have the spotlight. Junne, take it away.
Hi, my name is Junne, and I'm going to help you guys out a little bit with screaming. Before we get started, I might as well show you that I know how to scream. So I'll do a couple screams here for you right now, as well as show you a couple things that I've actually done for other people or other projects where I had to scream. First things first, let me show you how a scream is done. That was just a quick little example for you, I guess. And now that you've heard that, I'll show you a couple videos of things I've actually done. Enjoy.
Get away from us! Red bastards! I'll kill you where you stand!
When it comes to screaming, it's really, really important that you know how to do it. I guarantee you if you're voicing an anime or anything like that, someone's going to ask you to scream at some point. And knowing how to is very, very, very important. If you cannot scream, they don't have the time to teach you that. They need to get things done. So when someone asks you to scream and you try to do it and you just can't, or you've never done it before, or you know you're not very good at it and you just try anyway, you're wasting their time. You're wasting your time. It's better to learn how to scream now and actually be able to do it instead of learn that you can't do it later and have to teach yourself then and possibly miss out on something that you really, really want to be in. There's a couple important things that go into screaming that you need to do before you even scream. Drink water before you scream, especially after you scream. Soothe your throat like that. If you really hurt your throat during a session of screaming or something, or when you're done with it, Something that can really help ease the stress and the pain in your throat is swallowing a spoonful of honey. Something smooth and sweet like that will coat your throat and make it feel much, much better. Stretching, just in any way, can help you a lot. It can help with your body and how you're feeling and how you're breathing and how sound is flowing through you. Stretching is always a nice, important thing to do before really anything, before any kind of voice work, before exercise. It comes in handy quite a bit. Not only that, knowing proper posture can be so helpful to you. Of course, maybe you like to body act a little bit while you scream or while you voice act. More specifically, that's fine. Body acting while screaming and voice acting is 100% okay. Just understanding what positions you have to be in to be able to get a good sound is very important. There are some voices I cannot do when I'm in certain sitting or standing positions, and it's just because I have to move my body in a certain way to get that voice out. I have to do something with my neck, my throat, whatever. So, a good position to stand in is, well, your typical singing choir position, with your feet about shoulder length apart, back straight, chest out a little bit, hands to your sides, and then you're good to go. With your head straight up, straight forward, as if you're about to sing something. It's a great position to be in to get good sound no matter what you're doing. Getting a good breath is also very, very important. Do some breathing exercises when you're about to scream. That can help with your sound immensely. Not only that, just yelling can help with your sound. One of the ways that I really improved on my vocals, especially for screaming, was by just yelling. When I would go for drives somewhere, sometimes I'd just scream. I'd just sit there, I'd scream, I'd come up with monologues, I'd improvise something where a character is screaming, and I would just scream. Now, it didn't initially start out as a voice acting thing for me, learning how to scream. It was more so for music. I wanted to be able to get a good rock, gruff sounding vocals, and so getting in the car and singing in that kind of style really helped me refine my sound. And not only that, it helped me figure out how to do that without damaging my vocal cords, without really seriously hurting myself. Just like anything else, practice is going to help you so much. You want to just keep screaming. If you're not good at screaming, scream. Just start screaming. Just do it whenever you have the chance to. When you're alone in your house, when you're driving your car, scream. Just start screaming and work with that. Work from there. You'll be able to hear if it sounds awful, if it sounds bad, and you'll especially know if it's not working for you, because you're probably going to hurt yourself if you start screaming improperly. There is most definitely a proper way to scream, and it mainly consists of screaming without hurting yourself. There's multiple different ways you can scream, but screaming without hurting yourself is a number one priority when it comes to screaming. I can scream quite often, and I can scream for a long time and be totally fine. My throat may itch a little bit afterwards, but it doesn't necessarily hurt. It doesn't affect how I talk. Screaming is such an important thing, and you need to be able to know how to do it. As I recommend, just start screaming whenever you have the opportunity to. If you just can't do it inside, or you don't feel comfortable screaming inside, you need to be able to get over that, especially when voice acting. Anyway, no matter what way you look at it, screaming is always going to be very, very important within the voiceover business. So making sure that you're practicing screaming as well as any other thing that you're having issues with is very, very important. Just remember not to hurt yourself while screaming. Do not mess up your vocal cords. If it's starting to hurt just to talk, or when you start screaming and you keep screaming, it's hurting your throat, stop. Take a break. Drink some water, drink some tea, swallow a spoonful of honey. Take care of yourself. That is so important, because if you take care of yourself, chances are you're going to get a better sound, you'll get a better feel for screaming, you'll be able to do it without hurting yourself. But if you don't take care of yourself, you're going to ruin your vocal cords, and at some point, you might not be able to scream. And no one wants that.
Thank you so much for your input, Junne. You'll find his links in the description below. Go and give him a follow. And thank you so much for watching. Have any suggestions or requests for other EVA topics? Leave them in the comments below, or at me on Twitter. I'm more than happy to help to the best of my abilities. This has been episode 10 of EVA. Break a leg and go out there and voice act to your heart's content. We never speak of that. Anyway, if you liked what you just watched, feel free to click or tap here and it will take you to the latest video on my channel. Or you can let the YouTube algorithms choose a video it thinks you'll like. Magic! And of course, you can click or tap over here to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Come join the cult! We're always open to new members. Anywho, I hope to see you all soon. Peace out. Bye-bye!